Hi, and welcome back to Artmadillo. I have 4 favorite superheroes from the Marvel Universe. The first one is Ant-Man, the second one is Spider-Man, the third is probably Captain America, and then the fourth is Bucky. Today we are going to be drawing Steve and Bucky, or Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And this was requested, and they also asked me to draw them as chibis, which is kind of like a squished, tiny, almost like a baby version of the originals. So instead of them being like fully proportioned and tall and thin and all that, they're gonna be like squished and cute and chibi-ish. The materials that I used in this drawing are my big eraser, a Sharpie, a gray pencil, a brown pencil, a red pencil, a yellow pencil, a black pencil, a peach pencil, a deep blue pencil, a light brown pencil, and my mechanical pencil. To start off, I'm going to draw 2 circles that represent Steve and Bucky's heads. They are going to be doing a fist bump, and I'm just adding in all of the basic lines of where their hands and feet and eyes, mouth are going, and his shield and belt and boots and all of that. Once I'm done finishing his ear, I'm going to move on to Bucky, and I just need to add in where his hair is going to be and his eyes, and then add in those lines where his arm is on that side, and that side is the arm that had been damaged, so it is the metal arm. That's why I positioned Bucky on that side and Steve on the other side. So now I'm just finishing adding in the little lines and the other hand on Bucky. And I was gonna add again, but I decided not to. So after I finish all the little details on that, just so I know, I'm going to start using my Sharpie and start inking in everything and adding in more detail in his hair. And he's got these little bang things on his around his face, and I got the star on his arm, and his jacket has these lines on that one side that I decided to add, and then I added in his boots and the pockets and the different parts of where his clothing is. And then I got the lines on where his arm is and how it bends. And I added in all the belt on Steve, and now I'm adding in the rings on his shield. And I got my my pencil and added in the star so that I would know exactly where the star was, so that I didn't mess up on the star on his shield. And then I got his eyes and his mouth and his ear right there. And that is the A on his thing for America. And then I added in those little lines on top to represent the fists smashing together in a fist bump. And I erased all the extra lines that I did not need. And then I got my gray, and I started coloring in Bucky's arm, the one that's silver. And if you notice at the top of the arm, it's not colored in, it's just white to represent the shine of the metal. And then I got my black, and I went down on the bottom to add in some more shading on the bottom of his arm, so that it looked more silvery and not just flat and two-dimensional. And then I got a red and colored in that star. And then for Bucky's hair, I started off with a brown, which was my regular brown, because my dark brown is a little grayish and his hair is not very gray. So I decided to go back over it to make it darker with black. And that is a really great way to mix your colors. If you don't have the right color that you would want, then it's good to mix the colors there. And then I added in the pupils of his eyes, and then I got my brown and colored in there, all except one spot on each eye where the light was shining. And then I got my black pencil, and I just very, very lightly went over where his chin is and his cheeks so that it looked like he had a little bit of a beard-ish on him, because he's got that. And then I got my black and started coloring in his jacket, which is all black. But I didn't want it to just be black. I wanted to have some shape, so I made the bottom sides of the lines be a little bit darker than the top. And his pants are also black, so I did the same kind of shadowing thing there, and then his boots are also black. So I made it darker on the tops, and then in the middle I made it a little lighter, so it was like the boots are coming toward you and facing more toward the light, as you can see here. And then I started on Steve and put in his pupils, and then used blue for his eyes, and shaded in his eyes a little and around where his mask is. And then I got a blue and just started coloring in all of the his mask. And I had that one side above his ear that's just a bit of a seam on there, and so I wanted to make that obvious so it wasn't just a helmet. And then I added in that blue on his arm and the blue on his legs right there, and it's good to get the darkest part of the blue on the outside around where the lines are going to be. It gives it more shape. And then I got my brown, a lighter brown, and colored in his boots and his belt and his shoes. And I did the same principle of coloring the top and the bottom a little bit darker, like Bucky's. And then his gloves are they are brown, and if you look, his knuckles are exposed in his gloves, and so I added in that. And then every other one is red here, and then same with the shield, and the blue is in the middle, and then the star is just white. And then I added in the skin color and then the shadow at the bottom. If you like this, please like and subscribe. And if you want me to draw anything for you, please leave it in the comment section down below, and I will draw it as soon as I can.